controlled, considered. The arms draw down. The abdomen contracts. On the following in-breath, arms wide, head back once more. Out-breath, extend forwards once again, taking your hands either to the floor or your shins. In-breath, right leg back, head up. Out-breath, step backwards from the grip of the fingers, straighten the arms and push the heels to the floor. On the in-breath, right foot between the hands, lift the head up. On the out-breath, both feet together, head in. On the in-breath, sweep up and back. Keep the arms alive and active. On the out-breath, maintaining their strength, draw the arms down to the sides of the body. And again, in-breath, arms wide, head back. Out-breath, extend forwards. In-breath, left leg back, head up, as before. Out-breath, step straight back. Keep both feet in line and draw the chin towards the chest. On the in-breath, step that left leg straight back. Out-breath, both feet together, head in. In-breath, all the way up and back. Out-breath, draw the arms down to the sides of the body, paying attention to each and every breath, each and every movement. In-breath, arms wide, head back, look at the tips of the fingers. Out-breath, extend forwards, legs straight and strong. In-breath, right leg back, head up. Out-breath, both feet back, heels to the floor, chest towards the thighs. In-breath, right foot between the hands, lift the head and trunk. Out-breath, both feet together. Once again, pay attention to the strength and quality of action of the legs. In-breath, lift up, open the chest, expand to the maximum. Out-breath. We're now going to increase this range of movements in this next sequence. Arms wide, head back. Look at the tips of the fingers. Out-breath, fold forwards, legs straight and strong, head down. In-breath, pay attention. The next movement is different. Left leg back, and this time, hold the breath. Both legs back, body straight and firm, braced from the hands and the arms. Out-breath, slip over the toes, roll backwards, take the bottom to the heels, and then sweep forwards, breathing in deeply, opening the chest to the maximum. Out-breath, roll backwards, and familiar territory. In-breath, left foot forwards, head up. Out-breath, both feet together, head in. In-breath, all the way up and back. Out-breath, arms down. In-breath, arms wide, head back, look at the tips of the fingers, stretch the arms to the maximum. Out-breath, extend forwards, contract the lower abdomen to the maximum. In-breath, right leg back, head up. Hold the breath this time, both legs back, body straight and firm. Out-breath, flip over the toes, sit backwards, contract the abdominal wall once more, come forwards, and then stretch the abdomen, open the chest, head back. Out-breath, roll back. In-breath, right foot between the hands, head up. Out-breath, both feet together, head in. In-breath, all the way up, open the chest. Out-breath, cool, controlled, confident. Once more, in-breath, arms wide, head back. Look at the tips of the fingers and stretch to the maximum. Out-breath, roll forwards. Catch hold of the shins or take your hands to the floor, stretching the back of the hamstrings. In-breath, left leg back, try and keep it straight if you can. Hold the breath as you brace the body firmly, both legs backwards. Strong fingers, upward lift. Outward breath, flip over the toes, sit backwards. In-breath, sweep forwards. And next out breath, roll backwards once more. In-breath, left foot between the hands, head up. Right leg straightens this time. Out-breath, the right leg is carried forwards to meet the left, head down. In-breath, all the way up, quite dramatic lift. Open the chest to the maximum. Out-breath, compress the rib cage, compress the lower abdomen. Keep your eyes soft and your focus cool. And in-breath, open the chest wall, stretch to the maximum. Out-breath, roll forwards, compressing the front of the lungs, this time opening the back. In breath, right leg back, head up. Hold the breath, brace the body straight, strong and firm. Breathing out, flip over your toes, roll back with fluid, graceful movements. In breath, sweep forwards, up and open. Out breath, roll back. In breath, right foot between the hands, head up. Out breath, both feet together, head in. In breath, all the way up. And final out breath, draw the arms down. The range of postures in this next sequence are more challenging and more demanding. And we also hold some of the postures rather than just simply moving from posture to posture. Pay attention. On your next in-breath, bend your knees and raise your arms up. Stretch to the limit once again. Out-breath, extend forward, straighten the legs, hands to the floor or to the shins. In-breath, carry the left leg back, lift the head up. Now, out-breath, this time straighten the front leg and straighten the back leg and turn. Try to keep the fingers on the floor if you can. If you cannot, it is perfectly acceptable to take your hand to your shin as long as you keep both legs straight and strong. Turn and open the chest to the maximum. And on your very next in-breath, raise the left arm to the maximum so that the stretch is equal from the fingertips on the downward hand to the life and lift of the upper arm. This ensures that both sides of the chest wall are broadened. Keep breathing deeply, freely, and resonantly. And on your very next in-breath, square the right foot and lift the trunk. Open the arms to the maximum. Draw the breath in deep, using the breath to elevate the upper chest. Keep the abdomen locked, particularly on the out-breath. Compress as much as possible. And keep life in the feet. Check and look that the feet are in fact parallel and in line with each other. One more in-breath. On your very next out-breath, rolling out of the hip sockets, extend forwards and carry the fingertips to the floor. The legs stay firm and strong throughout this movement. The head is lifted up, increasing the upper arch of the spine. On your very next out-breath, extend forwards and carry your hands back as far as they will go. And then push the heels of the palms of the hand towards the floor and carry the head to the floor. Don't worry if your head doesn't meet the floor. That's unimportant. You can only do what you can do. You can't do anything else. Gradually, with patience and regular practice, the legs will free the lower back and you'll gain great flexibility, control, and strength. Next in-breath, sweep forwards, come back onto fingertips, head up. On your very next in-breath, simultaneously turn the right foot, breathe in and raise the trunk, using the arms to lift you as much as the lower back and abdominal muscles. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip, keeping the chest wide and the back of the trunk broad. The angle of the shin to the thigh is a right angle, and so is the angle from the thigh to the trunk. You're trying to make as much space as possible from the pelvis to the floating ribs here. Direct your attention down to the extending fingers of the right hand. The eyes stay soft and cool. And this has a direct influence upon the nervous system and the brain, and therefore consequently the thinking process slows down. Deep in breath. Out breath, spin forwards, hands to the floor and step back. This time hold this posture just a little longer than usual. And bend one leg and spin over to the straight leg. So you bend a leg and then kick the hip over to the straight leg. This has the effect of not only relieving tension in the backs of the legs, but also of releasing the hips and softening the lower back. The shoulder girdle is also consequently freed. On your next in-breath, step the left foot between the hands, and on the out-breath, spin and straighten both legs once again. Either hand to shin, or hand flat to the floor, or fingertips, whichever allows you to work in the posture to whatever is your level and degree of flexibility and strength. On your next in-breath, raise the right arm, turn the head, and direct the gaze right to the outstretched right hand. Breathing as deeply and freely as you can once again. On your next in-breath, spin the left foot in and lift up. Take a look at the feet. Make sure that they are parallel, in line with each other. Mighty in-breath, out-breath, roll out to the hip sockets, fingertips to the floor, arch the back, lift the head up. Out-breath, extend forwards, carry the hands backwards, and encourage the head to move towards the floor. The life of the posture comes from the feet. The knuckle of the little toe and the ball of the big toe need to compress firmly into the floor. The inner arch of the foot lifts and also the outer arch too, and the posture is anchored through the center of the heels. In-breath, sweep forwards, come onto fingertips once more, and really draw the spine in as much as possible. Take the head back to increase the lift and life of the upper spine. And lengthen the abdomen, breath by breath. On your next in-breath, simultaneously spin the left foot forwards, bend the knee, and raise the trunk. Once again, extend into the arms as much as possible. This sensation is like wild horses are pulling you apart. And we all know what that feels like. Lock the lower abdomen, draw the spine in, and really feel the dignity and strength and life of the posture. One more in-breath. Out-breath, release, roll forwards, and step back. Shift from hip to hip, bending one leg and leaning to the straight leg. But keep your mind on your breath. Never lose conscious control and application of the breath. That is the secret to practice. Next in-breath, step the left foot between the hands and raise the head up. Out-breath, both feet together, head in. In-breath, bend the knees, drop down, and raise the arms simultaneously. Out-breath, straighten and draw the hands down. Next sequence, bend the knees, raise the arms, breathe in. Out-breath, extend forwards, head in. Inhaling, left leg back, head up. Exhaling, keeping the back leg straight, take both hands to the right knee. Take a deep in-breath here. On your out-breath, release your arms and then draw them behind you and clasp the hands tight and push them away as far as possible. This little hand lock. Extend the first fingers forwards and keep the heels of the palms of the hand as much together as possible, as this increases the traction and increases the realignment, or encourages the realignment of all of the arm muscles, providing definition and tone. One more in-breath. Out-breath, release, and take the left hand to the outside edge of the right foot and turn. If you cannot maintain balance and stability in this posture, it's perfectly acceptable to bend the back knee. As long as you're turning, drawing the spine in, breath by breath. One more in-breath only. Out-breath. Come back to the center. In-breath, head up. Out-breath. Take the right elbow to the right knee. Bend the left leg and catch hold of the left foot in the left hand. Take a deep in-breath here. Now on your out-breath, begin to pull the heel towards the bottom and spin your elbow and bring the fingers forwards if you can. Remember, once again, it is crucial. You can only do what you can do. You cannot resemble a picture in a book or completely manufacture all of these postures and contortions on your first attempt. It takes practice. It takes time. And that is part of the joy of overcoming your stiffnesses, your resistance. One more in-breath only. Out-breath. Release. Hands to the floor. Step straight back. Give it that little shimmy once again, hip to hip. Bend the knee and kick to the straight leg. On your next in-breath, left foot between the hands as we move to the other side. Out-breath, hands to knee. This time, breathe in, take the arms wide. And on an out-breath, draw them into what's called the reverse prayer position. The little fingers nestle high up the thoracic spine, and the palms of the hands push together, broadening and opening the upper chest. The back leg as straight as possible. If you cannot manufacture this little tricky technique, then once again, return to straightening your arms, pushing them away as much as possible. The arms are being used, as I say, to broaden and increase your ability to draw breath high up the lung. Out breath, release. Right arm comes across left foot and you turn. Left hand comes to sacrum and look up. One more in-breath only. Out breath. Return to the center. In-breath, head up. Out breath, left elbow onto left knee. Raise the right foot. Catch hold and begin to descend. Pulling the foot as close to your bottom as you can. This is quite an incredible stretch. The stretch runs from the quadricep muscles in the upper thigh right into the abdominal wall here, which is a great tonic for the liver, the large intestine, and the kidneys. The kidneys are toned through the contraction of the back, and the liver is toned through the stretch at the front. On the opposite side, it is the spleen and the stomach which is activated. One more in-breath. Out-breath, release. Step back. In-breath, step forwards. Out-breath, both feet together, head in. In-breath, bend the knees, raise the arms, and out-breath, stand up straight, arms down. Now we move into a different range of challenges as we come to the floor. Take the arms wide on an in-breath, and at the same time, cross the right leg over the left. And now on your out-breath, bend your knees and sit down. And on your next in-breath, elevate the right arm as high as possible. Really stretch to the maximum. And on an out-breath, sweep it behind you and draw the hand as high up the thoracic spine as possible. On a following in-breath, raise the left arm up and then bend it backwards and catch hands. Drawing both hands together tight. Brace the neck against the upper arm. Now, of course, if you cannot catch hands here, you should use a belt or a thin towel or maybe even phone a friend. But don't just give up on the posture because you can't catch hands. Gradually, once again, with regular practice, you will be able to manufacture the arm lock. Now, this is a particularly valuable posture, as not only does it refresh and relieve tension in the shoulders, but it increases the ability of the upper spine to lift and open. Once again, this helps to broaden and release the rib cage and soften the diaphragm, lengthening the abdomen, increasing your capacity to inhale. And one more inhalation. On your exhalation, release the arms and simultaneously raise the right leg and bring the right foot flat to the floor next to the left knee. Inhaling deeply, turn to the right, sweeping the right arm back, and then carry the left arm over. Use the left arm as a brace to draw the spine in and up. Now, if this is quite comfortable and easy, release the hand and draw it through this little gap. And release the right hand and then catch the right with the left and turn. If you find that you can manage that without too much difficulty, then you can release the hands and take the left hand to meet the right foot. Draw the spine in and up. Now, the abdominal organs are contracted here deeply. The pressure of the thigh against the tummy helps to stimulate and activate the vital organs of the body. Once again, pay attention to your breath and keep the neck long with the chin parallel to the floor. One more inhalation. Exhale. Turn to the center and just carry this foot over the left knee and extend the right arm inside the right leg, and on an exhalation, draw the arm behind you, catch hands, draw the spine in and up, and on an out-breath, extend forwards. It's the same deal. If you cannot catch hands, it's not a problem. You can do what you can do. And in this case, you can take your hands to the floor close to the knee and the foot, and you use those to draw the trunk forwards. As long as you're breathing, you're going to get maximum benefit from practice. It is not important that your head touches the floor. It is not important that you catch hands. It is important that you breathe within the confines of the posture to the best of your ability. On your next in-breath, either release the hands and lift up, or just simply lift the trunk. On an out-breath, catch hold of the right foot. Take a deep in-breath here. And now on your out-breath, elevate the foot, straightening the leg as much as possible. First option, if you cannot straighten the leg, catching hold of the foot, catch hold of the ankle or the shin. If you find it reasonably easy to catch hold of the foot with the hands, then catch hold of the wrist. Left hand to right wrist, and then straighten the leg. Going to your limit, your personal challenge. Breathe deeply and evenly. Drawing the spine in as much as possible, using the leg to help you to lift the chest, using the arms to draw the shoulders back and pull the spine in. One more in-breath. On your out-breath, release. Bring both feet together. And drawing the heels as close to the perineum as possible, peel the feet apart as you would open a book. Draw the knees down towards the floor and lift the chest. Now, for some of us, the tension in the groin can be considerable, and you may find that your knees are quite high. It took me 8 years to do this posture. I was probably the stiffest man in town. But gradually, I overcame those restrictions, opened the groins, the lower back and the hips, and now can really enjoy the posture. One of the ways that helped me was simply to drop onto one knee and to push the other leg down. And then alternate. Sit up, roll over, keep the weight on the grounded knee, and from there, push, extending, taking the opposite knee towards the floor. The important fact is that the spine draws in, the chest lifts up. One more in breath. On your out breath, raise the knees, catch hold of the neck of the big toes, sit back, and elevate the legs. The arms are used to draw the spine in and to pull the shoulders back, to lift the chest up. If you cannot catch hold of the neck of the big toes with 2 fingers, catch hold of your shins, your calves. The important point is that you stay focused on your breath and you extend to your personal limit. One more in breath. Out breath, release the hands and keep the feet elevated. Now this too is a remarkably challenging posture, far superior to sit-ups for developing the abdominal organs and the abdominal wall. But if you cannot keep your legs straight with the arms extended, take your hands to the floor. And even if this is too difficult for you, bend the knees and extend the arms. There's always something to do. One more in breath. Out breath. Release. This time take the right heel to the left hip and carry the left leg over. On an in-breath, raise the left arm. On an out-breath, sweep it behind you, keeping it straight, and then lift the hand high up the spine. Following in-breath raises the right arm, and the out-breath, the hands meet. Now you may find that you can do this on one side and not on the other. This is due to natural imbalances of the body. We're right-handed or left-handed. You carry handbags on one shoulder, or small children. And this is part of the restructuring, the rebalancing, the realigning. Keep paying attention to your breath, and the posture will increase in its opening. One more in-breath only. Out-breath. Release the arms. Raise the left knee. Left foot flat to the floor next to the right knee. In-breath. Left arm sweeps around. Right arm comes over. And then use the arm as a lever to encourage both shoulders to move in line with both knees. Sometimes there's a tendency in these basic twists for the neck to collapse into the shoulder in our ambition to turn more. The neck is the spine. We forget this sometimes. Make your neck long. Articulate the neck freely. And make sure that the shoulder girdle is free, open, and broad. And then go to whichever variation that offers a challenge to you. One more in-breath only. Out breath. Release. Left foot lifts and